This problem is again the problem with the conservation of linear momentum. In this case, the, this is one the two balls collide. One is at rest and the other is moving at a speed. And after the collision, the one ball deflects at 30 degree, and then you need to find it out what is the initial speed of the ball. Okay, so let's solve this problem. So you have one ball, and this ball is moving at a speed 3 meter per second. This velocity, I'm just calling this as a b1, is 3 meter per second. And the mass, let's say the mass is m. And then you have another ball, and this ball is at rest. So the velocity of this ball is 0 meter per second, and the mass is again m. Alright, so when they collide, what happens? Once they collide, one ball starts moving in this direction, and the other ball, let's say, starts moving in this direction. This is x-axis and this is the y-axis. And this angle is given, theta is given, this angle is given 30 degree. And we do not know this angle, alpha. So this angle is alpha. And again, the mass of the two balls are exactly the same. So you need to find out what is the velocity of this ball. So this is the first ball. Let's say we call the V1F, and this is, I'm calling this is the V2F. Or I'm calling V1I and V2I. And the reason this is the initial, I stands for initial, and this is V1I, if you cannot read this one, and this is V2F. F stands for the final. V1F means first ball, final velocity. Okay. Now you need to find it out what is the V2F. This problem has two steps here. If these two masses are equal and the one ball hits this one and moves at an angle, then one thing I would like you to remember for now, these two angles are always 90 degree, the theta and this alpha. If these two masses are equal and then one ball is moving, then the theta plus alpha is always 90 degree. Just keep this in mind. So, and I'll show you the proof. So theta plus alpha is equal to 90 degree. So we given the theta, so we can calculate alpha is equal to 90 degree minus theta, and this is equal to 90 minus 30, which is equal to 60 degree. So we got this angle as a 60 degree now. Now life becomes a lot easier now. Okay, because we can now apply the principle of conservation of momentum both along x-axis and along the y-axis. Now let's try to do first along the y-axis. Let's apply the conservation of momentum along the y-axis. Okay. Momentum conservation. Y-axis. Along the y-axis, what is the momentum of this ball along the y-axis, it is 0 because it is moving along the x-axis. This ball is at rest, so it is not moving at all. So its momentum is 0 too. Okay. Now let's think about the velocity of this ball along the y-axis. So this ball is moving at an angle, so it does have the two components, both along x-axis and along the y-axis. So the component of this ball along the y-axis is v1f sine theta. And along the x-axis, this is v1f cosine theta. Okay? And this velocity, this component is v1 v2f cosine alpha, sine alpha, and along this direction, this is v2f cosine alpha. So what I'm just doing here, I'm just taking the components. You see, this is v1f. So what is the y component? v1f sine theta. What is the x component? v1f cosine theta. The same way, v2f sine alpha and v2f cosine alpha. So now let's use the momentum conservation. So the total initial momentum is 0 because both these balls have no component along the y-axis. This one is moving only along the x-axis and this is at rest. So the total initial momentum is 0. Now I'm just writing here. Initial momentum has to be equal to final momentum. Final momentum. And this is along the y-axis. So initial momentum is 0. Now let's talk about the final momentum. The final momentum is this mass times this velocity, which is the mass v1f sine theta. And then you have this velocity, and this velocity is opposite to the first velocity. So you have negative mass v2f sine alpha. Why negative here? Because this one is along positive x-axis and this velocity is along negative. This is along positive y-axis and this is along negative y-axis. So we can solve this one. Just let's try to solve this equation. So once we solve, what you get here, this mass cancels out. v2f is equal to sine theta divided by sine alpha times v1f. Okay. So this is, let's call this equation is equation 1. And now we're going to apply the conservation of momentum along x-axis. Momentum conservation this is along x-axis. Okay. What is the initial momentum of this ball here? This is the mass, because this is moving along the x-axis. So it does have the momentum, which is mass times the velocity. So I'm just calling this is as m times v1I. The same way, you have to take the momentum for both these particles, both the balls. And this one is the mass times V1F cosine theta, and the other is mass times V2F cosine alpha. Here I'm using the positive sign here because if you look, both the components for this velocity and this velocity are adding together, and these both are in the positive direction. The x component is along positive x-axis, and the x component of this velocity is also along the positive x-axis. So it's just adding together here. So the mass is cancelled out, okay? And we have to solve for the V2F. We know this velocity here. What is the velocity? 3 meters per second. Okay, and we can in fact substitute. Let me try to get it this one. Okay, this is perfectly fine. I'm just trying to solve for the V1F. If I have V1F, what you get is sine alpha over sine theta times V2F times cosine theta. So I'm just putting the V1F from this equation into here. This is just the math. So if you're attempting to solve this problem, this is just now the simple math now. So you should be able to do it on your own. V2F cosine alpha. Just plug in all the numbers now. Plug in all the numbers here. 3 sine alpha is sine 60 degree. Sine theta is sine 30 degree. And then we have cosine theta, cosine 30 degree, plus cosine alpha is cosine 60 degree. I'm taking V2F out, V2F, and then plug in all the numbers and solve for the V2F. Then the V2F you'll get is 1.5 meter per second. Just solve this value and you'll get your answer.